Alright, sorry, I had some echo. I am sending out some notifications for people on X and Blue Sky. Let me... Almost done here. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. I really need to make time for this, so... yeah. I got my feet kind of sitting underneath the table here. You kind of want, so do that real quick here, and off he goes. But yeah, I've posted everything. So cool. We do have some plans, so I kind of want to get that going. I've been gone for a month, or I haven't streamed for a month, so there's been a lot of like stuff I've been doing on the background while I've been out. One of those things is I have been kind of planning a better flow that's more I want to say gentle with kind of like my time, and also like allow me to be creative. So I'm still working on that. I'm playing with it as we speak, but yeah, so that's been taking up some of my time. I also we can go here in the browser scene. Oh, that's the channel. I think it's that, right? Let me grab the link. I participated in the Pirate Software Game Jam. So me and a couple of friends, we created a video game in 2 weeks, which here's the itch.io page. Yeah, so we created this video game in 2 weeks. The itch.io page is unfortunately broken because I don't know how to embed React into an itch.io page. Kinda is awful, but that basically, like, this game jam has been like riddled with just chaos, dude. It was kind of hectic. I do plan on creating a picture of like documenting everything that happened, but in short, our artist got sick, so I was kind of working off a like half concept, which was not fun at all. Oh wait, let me turn on the music. Kind of competing with it. There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah, so been participating in the game jam for Pirate Software, and it was hectic, full of like misplanned things, I mean, this is the first time using this tech stack for making a game, so we used like React Router. It had to be all client side, so I didn't want to use Next.js and all that fun stuff. But yeah, so we used Next Router and Vite, all that kind of stuff, and you know, it was okay. I was trying to find the URL. Yeah, let me just go to the GitHub page. Oh, it was Game Jam. There you go. So yeah, so we created this kind of game here, and it's an auto battler. So you create You upgrade your stats like I did there, navigate through. The music's broken. I haven't touched it in 2 weeks, so of course stuff like this would be broken. It is what it is. So you fight through. You can focus. It's all broken now. Dang. Anyway, so you can focus on like what you want to do. The slowest being the attack, the highest being on defense, and then the highest being luck, and the medium speed of focus is defense, just because of how like vital they play in each one. These two kind of like build the stack until they are used, and then attack's just a flat rate reduction in cooldown rate. Once you defeat the enemy, you go to stronghold and kind of repeat the cycle there. And there's a town here. You repair your ship, but if you're a full health, then you don't need to use that. So instead, you kind of just you get stat points and meat. The meat is kind of like incentivize you to go into the town to trade it for like, so you get one stat point for every 2 meat, and you get the same amount of meat and stat points per fight. So essentially what that means is that like when you fight that the first large dragon, if you were to fight that, you'd get 9 stat points in total if you were to go to town next instead of like 6. But it does waste a turn, so there is that trade-off. All the art was done second to last day before it was published. It was supposed to be published on Friday, and our artist wasn't able to like do stuff until like the Monday, Tuesday before. So it was stressful, but we got these backgrounds. After round 5, so if I just kind of go here, you kind of fight a boss here, and you can see how like there's different sprites. So you go through 3 different phases, each having a different boss, kind of like Slay the Spire kind of style. So I really enjoyed that. That was really fun. But yeah, so that took 2 weeks. Me kind of learning how to design these things. I'm familiar with React and all that, so it wasn't too hectic of a thing. Also, if you want to play this, itch.io, put it in chat, but that's the itch.io page if you want to play the game. It does work, it just there's no sound, fortunately. But yeah, so that's one of the things I've been working on. That was the first 2 weeks. The second one, part of the second of the 2 weeks, is I've been designing my portfolio. So right now I'm just doing the website. If you don't know, we can go back here. This game jam was part of it, but it kind of looks bad, in my complete honesty. You just kind of download the resume and then here's the history with blocks of text. So I really wanted to give this more of an upgrade, actually make it worth it. Tell the story of who I am, and kind of this is helping me with like designing how the stream goes, because originally this was supposed to host all the socials and like be a center hub of all the content, because everything's spread out between I think I posted 9 here. I think there's 12 different social media accounts I post to. But yeah, so I've been doing this. I do plan on having like merch, because I do want to like sell posters and stuff. So I am still gonna make a separate account for my stream, like hi, this is Rusty account. But this kind of just goes through like my life, my journey, who I am. Some of the pictures we do on stream, this flower was really cool. I wish I went a little bit more into like the vibrant. It can't really be a part of the vibrant flower collection, because of like I didn't really go far enough. But it was a good test flower and I really enjoy it, so that's one of the things I put it in here. It has all the socials, like not all, but you know, the main socials accounts related to, you know, photography. We're going to be getting a little bit, we've been doing a little bit more design. So we're going to create more structure around that as well. And I'll go through like future plans here in a second. But you know, do the design. I want to add a dribble. And like developer, you know, that was my focus in college. So yeah, that's kind of want to like why I like the scenes, why I have picked to focus my life into it. I do write blog posts under my name. It's just all the stuff I like learn at work, because I do a programmer adjacent and kind of thing, and I've actually started training as a dev at work, which is really cool. It happened in October, but then kind of got put on hold because of the holidays. So yeah, it's been I dipping in a lot more into it, like training wise and taking on my own tasks. So it's been really cool to do. Here's the call of action to like our social media and like everything all together. Contact page and all this is going to be public, so I don't really mind sharing. Yeah, and this was kind of based off of a portfolio. Do I have his portfolio now? I think I do. Let me go search for it. Oh, I thought I did. Well, it was kind of based off someone else's portfolio, but trying to take it to that next level. So it was like a minimalist. It had this kind of like tiled structure, and I still have a lot of work to do, but you know, I'll do the cleanup here in a bit after I get all the content down. But yeah, so I had this more tile structure. His was only one page, really. And there's a little bit more interaction with it, but I think it was called Mark. Let me get off that. Let's go to Dragfish. While I pulled this guy up. So I did a lot of like looking into different portfolios, did a lot of research onto that. Oh, dang, I can't find it anymore. It probably is not under portfolio. We'll just go. Oh yeah, sorry, you can't really see this, but I don't want to show you my search history. Chaotic. Oh. UI. The designer. Nope. Oh, that's unfortunate. But yeah, I based it off someone else's. I'll find it when I post about it. I plan on plan on making creations on storyboards, but yeah, so I plan on like programming in like portfolio, the resume, and having like a index into like where things are and stuff. And I've been watching a lot about like optimal resumes, and that's how I got this kind of structure. And I mean, I have this location here. I kind of want to add here. And then I have like that kind of like story I showed you earlier, like the history section. I kind of added a little bit more flair to it. So we have like this, I'm really proud of this. We have this like little dot section that kind of like shows the correlation between the three aspects of my life and how they kind of play into each other. And like how I want it to be played into the future. So this like big red black dot's gonna be always at the end, be like, I plan on making this better in my life, whatever. But yeah, so I've been working on that, and I've been learning a lot about Figma, which is really cool. But yeah, which kind of leads us to how things are going to be wrapped up in like how Twitch is and stuff. How we're going to like determine how things are going to be. Twitch. Let's go back to the just chatting scene. I plan on focusing maybe once every week or two to like do streams. These are my photo editing streams, but they're not the only times I've been photo editing. So yeah, especially when I'm kind of building out the workflow, I figure out like how my aesthetic's gonna be, really nail things out. So until then, it's gonna be up in the air. It may be like another month before I do another stream, because my focus isn't gonna be on the streams until I start creating content elsewhere. I just think there's more to share if I do that way. So yeah, that's all I had for just chatting. So let's hop into a more photo editing stream. I'm gonna change the Twitch title and all that, the category to, and change all the tags here. I do so. This is going to be our first. This is going to be the first image that we're going to be working on. It's I went to downtown Scottsdale. I started taking pictures of in the area, so there you go. All the tags are in. So let's switch over to art. Excellent. So yeah, we're going to be working on two flowers. We're going to edit flowers, but one's an orange tree. I took this picture in the backyard. I got a new macro lens, so I really wanted to check it out, and it came out really well. I am appreciative of that. And then this flower came out really well as well. Took this on, I believe it was in Scottsdale. But anyways, it is a lot very blown out, but I think it'll work really well with like the collection that we're working on, which is the vibrant flower. If you're not in the know on what this collection is, I let me open a couple of others in this collection. I also want to show you, of course. Yeah, you still need to sort through all the photos too. So for example, we have this lemon tree, which we edited on stream here. Well, it loads, which is really nice. You know, it's the yellow and green and stuff. And that's really cool. My favorite, honestly, is when I edited off stream, which let's pull in that. I'll pull in the rest too. There's only 4 right now, and these take about 30 minutes to edit. So with how busy I've been, this is what I wanted to post on Valentine's Day, but never got the chance to. We also edited this one on stream because it's kind of the dual color, but it kind of shows you the more we're going for, which is the black and white background with just the flower being the vibrant part. And then I took this picture. I really love this picture. It's that bat green. I made it's only the background is the leaves. So instead of trying to make just the whole plant, the color, I really took out just like the buds and left that green, that color on that bee. It took me so long to take this picture. I sat there and like it was a very crowded area too, so I had to keep on stepping away as well, but it took me like 20 minutes to take this picture. Which, I mean, might sound crazy, but I really enjoyed this. This also took me a long time to edit. Just because I have to go through like all the different color. You might even messed up there too. All the different like colors and try to isolate the buds from the flowers and kind of masking all that out. Took a while, especially like when you have like stuff like that where the bud is underneath. There's the stem which is green, so I like literally just try to take all the yellow. But yeah, but it got to a really good portion there, and you know, lemons there. So we have 2 more we gotta edit, which I don't think will be too crazy. It's not to the level of the bee and the flower. So yeah, and I think if I sort through all the collection, I think I have around like 10 more to edit, and I see that this collection will get like a lot more crowded too. So yeah, plug in my drawing tablet, which I use for masking. Let's get started. Oh no, I gotta replace this with a USB port. All right. Am I still? Oh, wait. Oh. All right. So I just had to make sure I was still live. All right, flower time. So let's start with. I'm really excited. Oh, that was just a freak out of my pencil. I'm really excited about this one, so I want to leave this for the second. Let me set the timer so that way we don't go over time. I have it set to 1 hour. I think will be enough time for us. Things edited. Cool. All right, timer second. So let's get going. First thing first, I need to adjust the exposure here to make it a little bit more clear in the background. Probably adjust the highlights here to not be so extreme. Come on. There you go. Because you know get blown out. So let's adjust the highlights there and amazing. I also think we can one thing I also like to do is increase the clarity, just because it really gives that like detailed texture, which I really like. So there you go. I think that's a good place to work from. This is also going to be another one where we're just kind of like do just the red of the flower. So we go to overlays here and add an overlay. So now we're giving this brush edge aware. The hardness is 50 though, which is fine because it's edge aware. And if we kind of like zoom in over here, should be able to start painting it in, which is, I'm kind of realizing now, because of the color of the flower, I don't really know if I won't really know if I like the edge or not. Also make sure to do small strokes so we don't lose so much progress. That's gonna be a lot of progress. I don't want to lose a lot of progress on that one. So over here, we can make this like 100 for now. Yeah. And the smaller the brushes, the easier it will be to get the more fine, closer to the edge, more detailed. I feel like my hands aren't going to be really able to handle this. That's all right. Edge aware. All right, so I don't think this is gonna. I think we're gonna have to do a little saturation drop and kind of work with that. So just don't paint over the edge there, and then you'll kind of like be able to tell from there if it's working. And then if we're going to do that, let's increase the hardness to like 75. We can change the saturation to like crazy amount. Oh wait, no. Okay, let's move here. Boost the vibrancy and saturation by too much. Which, I mean, looks ugly, but it'll make it easier a bit to like do this drawing. Brush drawing, so should be able to And of course we go into a gray area. Show that for them. I don't think we'll get to the detail later. We just need to get this outlined. And usually that's my focus, really, is to like get the flower outlined and then go in with the detail later, because I can spend a lot of time trying to figure out what's the boundary and what's not. And we can go here to 500. Here we can. Start kind of like drawing in this area. And it's the same technique with like when you're hand drawing something, trying to make long downward brush strokes on the pad. You have a little bit more control onto like how things are, even though like edge area is available. You don't really want to rely on that. It's not the greatest detector. With Photoshop, I used to be an Adobe user, and with Photoshop you didn't really have to do this. I don't know if you're gonna have to do this with I'm still fairly new to Affinity, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you have to do this with Affinity. It is also like satisfying, so I don't particularly mind. It's one of those like, why automate the nice parts of this stuff instead of like keeping all the boring aspects. I also wish it would listen to your brush sometimes and be like, yo, don't paint this close to the, only paint up to the brush strokes. Oh, we did 10. There you go. That way you can like create a barrier and not have to worry about going past it. But Affinity is like 1,000 times better, faster than Photoshop. So if I was to use Photoshop, you'd probably take the same amount of time, honestly, to edit a flower like this. Don't really mind, especially, oh, well, okay. That might not be true for everybody, but with my hardware, it's definitely true. So the amount of money I save and the amount of time I save is exponential. It's significant. All right, let's look at what we have here. Gotta get rid of this. Maybe we don't need it to be as saturated. Ooh, okay. I'd probably dropping the saturation on this one. It's actually pretty good. Let's look at that. Like I had it be saturated. We want the vibrant, not saturated flower. So I might get rid of this one because it looks pretty ugly. I'm gonna keep. Okay, so here's a question, right? Do you keep only the flowers this, so instead of, well, let me draw the line, right? Do you keep these, everything on this side of the line, not the green, but all the flowers on this side of the line saturated and not this one? I think in this situation you do, because it's out of focus and it kind of distracts from what's here, whereas the one with the B, it kind of add to it. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So let's do that. Do I include those buds? I don't think I do. Okay, I need a smaller brush for that. Oh, you know what I can do? All right, let's go back to there. And then we will change the picture. Right. So now that if we show the overlay. Yeah, okay. Also, this is a little too big. I typically don't work with this, but I was hoping I would be able to. The bigger the brush, the faster it typically goes. So in this situation, we're gonna have to work with the 50. We might even have to work with the 10 in some situations. It's okay if it highlights it. The only reason why you wouldn't really want to do that, or the reason, well, also another downside with working with smaller brushes is that you can't just go straight to the 500 in order to clear all the gaps. You have to work your way back up. So I usually work into like steps starting at the smallest being 10 and the largest being 500. 500 is usually good with what at the resolution I pick my pictures at. You saw me working with the 500 a second ago, so it usually works out really well. Okay. And especially with like all these flower details. I don't know. That might be a 10 right there. I'm going to opt to just start here, just so we can get our line. And yeah, like again, I'm kind of just trying to do this a little dirty. Just give our outline. We can go back and with the eraser to clarify all the like jizz, like with that right there. And that's where another situation where a 10 will come in, but you'll be a little too slow if we did that. And it would... So the steps I typically... I go from... So it's a 10, then to a 25 that pixel brush. Went from a 25 pixel brush to a 50, which what I'm using now. A 50 to 100. And then 100 to 500. I find that those are typically adequate step up. Oh, okay. That is part of that, so we'll come into here and go like that. And we're almost done with our outline here. I just kind of want to see how this would look. We're gonna have to like go back and erase it later or not. Come back over to this outline. We still want the shadows and stuff. Those are all great. Another thing is what the temperature we want to have this play at. Kind of something I'm kind of thinking about when I'm editing. What kind of the temperature I want. Does this flower give me, like, feel like to me? Is it it's more of a warm, a flower that kind of gives you more of a warm feeling than... Oh man, I should really like find out what kind of flower these are. Probably just reverse image search it on Google. You want that hidden one right there. It's not something you typically do, but you know. Do we want that hidden flower? No, I don't mind a change. This will make it harder to this. So this is going to be an area where I'm going to have to use a lot of fine detail in my brush work. Usually with like highlights and high contrast. It makes it easier to see, but not in this situation. Someone like right there. There's a dog scratching at my door. Smells like hot buffalo hot wild wings. Alright. I think we could technically see how it is, but let's just get through this real quick. We're at 40 minutes. I probably should put a timer on. I think that'll be like a goal for next stream, or next photo editing stream, to have a timer on here. I do say that knocking down the temperature on this photo was pretty nice. also this is probably the first one where the photo itself, in order to get that vibrancy, is a inverse of saturation, because the saturation just serves to blow it out and kind of hide it. But in this situation, this for this situation, that's the case. Where a lot of the other photos I've been editing, that hasn't been the case. It's been more so a little bit more saturation has always helped it out. We'll come back for that. Looks like we're just going to be editing this one photo for today. But that's okay. I do want to get to that tab design because my design portfolio kind of be lacking. So I kind of will work on that a bit more, and we're kind of in the weeds there. This one we're going to include. This, go down here. 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 Oh, that's part of the flower. I could probably have made a ease of like a layer below this. Make this a little bit more visible. And sight. Or a little too far into it. The changes have been already made, and there's not changes to turn back, so not too worried about it. Let's see what it's kind of crazy. We need this right here. Right here. I think that should be all the flower outlines besides this one right here. Let me get this right here. Okay, I'm like really leaning in into this one, huh? I want to leave that out. The vibrance, the color, the saturation, different saturation also serves to like you're in this same purpose of like what leading lines typically serves to like focus your subject a bit more, in case that be flower here. right. I think it's time to start rather like the bigger sections here. Paint strokes earlier. That's a finer brush detail. Oh, I accidentally misclicked that one. Okay, and then we kind of want to pull this out away so we can use the bigger brush. I don't want to something like this away from here. I'm gonna make it a little smoother so we can be a little bit more sloppy with the bigger brushes. Where I kind of drew that line's pretty good. Example of how far I kind of want it. Hand work. Okay, pulling it out a bit more here. Alright. And then we can start to kind of pull this out a little bit more now. Oh. We're gonna see a little bit color because of our changes there, but do we need it actually? The changes? I think it's fine. It's fine. outline a barrier area that I will feel comfortable like getting as close to. Kind of have like brush strokes going on here. I need back to my area. There we go. Got a little bit, lost a little bit of control there. We're about 30 minutes through our photo editing session here. So I would say we're about halfway with this photo too. So unfortunately we won't get to the orange today. I'll make sure that we'll edit that another time. I just don't want to edit. I don't want to go too late on this stream. And we still have that tabs, which is another like 30-minute design process. Just because we got to go through the different, like, here's what I found, just looking at examples. And then coding it off screen in our code bin and repo. So this was, although okay, I'm gonna be real. I don't know how much I want. I don't want flow into here. If I'm gonna be completely honest, I feel like this is a lot of dead space for what could be what is kind of like detracting from flower. What I mean. Think probably have something like this. Instead of trying to like focus on what's here that I can barely see anyways, on what is more prevalent to our subject. And you can still see it. It's not like I'm like hiding it forever, right? So if we get rid of that, it's kind of like showing that flower instead of trying to like show this stem. And I'm going to leave this off for now too, because we're going to go to 100. Actually, I think we can hop over to 500 because we drew it far away enough. we'll come back with the 100 or the 50 later, and grab everything else. All the little like stragglers. Oh, I put edgeware on. My bad. That's why we got that straggling. You know? Look at that. Let's go. I think this is what I really would like to see when it comes to down to, we can do back down to 50. We can just probably probably should have been 100, but you know, it is what it is. That well. I'm just covering this area. And we have this section I noticed afterwards, and that's a 10. Yeah, that's gonna be a show off. I don't think this is gonna be edge aware. Oh, maybe. Pens typically don't really need edge aware. Just because it's small enough, the color they selected to like watch out for isn't. And that's what I meant by erasing. The 50. This might be a 25. Yeah, that was a 25 for sure. There you go. One grayed out area. We want to go over here. 5 should be fine here too. Got some color here that we don't really want. That a color. Hey, so some color here. In this situation, I kind of think, since it was such a close color to it, it kind of pulls it out a bit. It's cool. See that there's like this haloing effect. What I mean by that is that when you kind of like have like a blurry image, they'll try to blur it into the background, and it looks like the flower is wearing a halo. So I kind of want to try to get as much of that as possible out of here. It makes it look like the flower doesn't belong with like this saturation look. We don't have much time left though, that's the thing. I might this is not an edge aware situation. You could have saw that on that bee where like the flowers had like a halo, a green effect to them. In this case, it's a blue, like a blue color that's kind of surrounding the, which it's a highlight, but the product of the blur, you don't want it. You want it out of here. You just, strokes, hit Control Z when we dipped in a little too much into the flower. Right. So that's a little bit better. There's not as much of a haloing there. I think now we can move back to the master layer, adjust the temperature. Now we have like a really. I have my hand back. Excuse me, sir. We still have it. Dang. Now it's like a yellow because we got rid of that. And it looks really ugly. It looks like we're chipping into the flower a bit too now. So there's another technique we can use that for that, and it'll be a little bit less accurate. I mean, be a little better. But it's fine. Right now, it's fine. So back to the master. We can increase the contrast, and I don't really like to do. Okay, it kind of depends. See how. Let's increase that, decrease that. I rather increase and decrease the shadows to add a little bit more depth. I think this probably should be like a 50. Let's see what that at. At 0%, the highlights. Like it kind of looks like flat, and then we kind of boost the shadows. We make it a little bit more deeper. Highlight that 25%. Kind of looking. I point at the screen. You're kind of looking at like these edges right here on the flower. It's also really important, like here in the black and white areas. Nice. But kind of looking at those areas too. And there's gonna be ways to increase this better, but I think in this situation, we want that probably around a -60 on the shadows, because a -100 it's a little too dark. We are trying to get as much texture and grass. Since we don't have that much like stuff to look at, you have to make what you are looking at pretty interesting. Probably can increase the exposure or the brightness to about like 10%. And then we kind of want to. So that's at 0. And I think at we do that and then we kind of decrease this to 40. I do like the depth though. So we will kind of want it right there. I want it somewhere on like print screen button. Yeah, that's good right there. What's my crop at? Yeah, actually, the first thing I should probably have checked is the crop. I cropped it to the center of the flower. Which, yeah, okay, that works. Honestly, a -8 on the contrast might be good here. It kind of clears up the, like the mid-tones there. And well, I'm not looking at the histogram right now. I'm not too concerned about that. Kind of just want to make sure that our white balance isn't like crazy. Let's get rid of that gray, and I kind of like that like deep white background there. What I might end up doing is kind of coming through and like adjusting those highlights. So we're gonna do 0 there. I think that kind of blurs that out a bit. I want to increase the black point a bit, honestly. But it kind of makes the tops here a little bit harder to see. I might increase that black point so you can like see the leaves and stuff. All right. Coming back through there. We're going to look at white balance. So we can make it a deeper red, or like that deeper red. So this is what it's at like 0-10, you know? It is a deeper red, but I think we need to push it a little bit. And push it into the green a bit more, and it's like, wow. Yeah, it's like that primary red color. And we did that. The hands, I think we're good. Honestly, I do like, I always like crank up the vibrancy and work around that because it just gives more dimension to it. Okay, we can do lens. I don't think for what we're working here. That's noise reduction. You don't need that. Tones. Okay, we're gonna be working on a curve. So I mean, primary one's red, right? Oh, that looks so good. That was by mistake too. Ooh. Alright. Kind of turns the black and white into like a bluish color, because before, after. I love it. It's not what we were looking for. But I think it works really well. Oh man. I really love it. Oh, if you're curious on what I took a picture at. Hi. Okay. I mean, the histogram looks awful, but the picture looks great. Wanted red reset. I wanted the master one. I wanted to bring green there. I don't like how it adjusts the whole thing. Is it because of the layers? This is good. Just goes to show. I'm gonna decrease the tint a bit and kind of make it fit in a bit better. Alright, so that's blue. Honestly. But it loses all its vibrancy. Where's the vibrancy? Move it more in the yellow. Like that. My only concern is how that looks. Like we have a couple bits of haloing because of it. I guess I can reduce the yellows being like a third mask. Yeah, let's do that. We only have so much time. All right, so we're gonna go back to overlays. I need to fix this right here. I've been staring at this like 1,000 years. The edges aren't masked either. It's just looks like it. Where's my pencil? Yeah, we have 3 minutes left, so let's just finish all the details here. Pencil. Let's create a new mask. Not bad. In this case, we're going to do a very not hard thing. Where all the yellow is. I look there. Where I see all the yellowing happen. Right around there. Yes. It's mostly like around here. We're gonna turn down. Here we're gonna turn down the temperature. No, it didn't work. That's too needs to be very. There you go. We got 30 seconds left. Ugh. I might go a little bit over since we're almost done. Kind of getting rid of some annoying areas here. Nope. Okay, I guess that's it. Alright, so this is what we came up with today. I'm definitely not gonna have you on my stream. dude, there is no reason why I should like review, but it will. One, it won't help me at all. Two, like, it's just a waste of money. Please don't mark it on my stream. Um, I think I can't forgot to go through and measure where. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna call it there. We're gonna develop. Oh, I forgot the before and after pics. That's all right. I think in the next collection we're gonna have to be a little bit more like strict about that kind of stuff, but that's fine. I have the before too anyway, so all right, let's export this out. It's still calculating the file size. This is a little ridiculous, but fine. Should I reduce the quality? No. Never. Not working with anything crazy here. I have to reduce it because I turned off metadata. No. All right, so after this, we're going to get into after this, we're going to get into like our little design. So while we wait for this time, while we wait for the image to export, let me switch over Twitch to the UI design. I don't know why I'm still in the just chatting section. So it's UI Figma tab bar. Oh, that's what I meant by bubbly. Bubbly. Category still gonna be art. Yeah, let's do. And did it finally export? Yeah, all right. Excellent. Well, that's great. Let's now switch over to Figma. As to why it's over there, I don't know. Move over to CodePen Designs and This was what we worked on last time. And we're not gonna, so what we used to do is we'll like, for this one anyways, what we used to do is we designed it in Figma, and then the next hour we moved over to coding and did a live coding section trying to implement it. Here's the problem with that, right? So in live coding, I couldn't implement any accessibility features. So like you can tap into it. Coding has a lot of like detail oriented stuff. So it's just, I didn't feel like it fit the stream all that well. So instead, and it had a lot of like, you have to account for screen sizes, browsers. It took a lot to like get it working. Like we got a good working prototype for just my screen, but that's it. So instead of doing that, we're gonna design it on stream, and we'll use the same. Three, 4, 6, 7, 10. All right, there you go. All right, so this is not going to be a horizontal accordion, but our tab bar. So next time we have stream, I'll try to have this implemented, and yeah, so that should be on CodePen. So yeah, let's go through some of the inspirations I have picked out for today's stream. Switching over this. So I have the sliding tab bar. I'm gonna turn this over. I feel like I'm yelling. So we have the sliding tab bar, which is just this like pill oriented tab bar design. And we'll start the timer. All right. And I mean, it looks good. I like it. And then we have this icon here. They use a accent color, it looks like. And then we have this more like this, the same thing. It's kind of like a squarish pill with like, I'm trying to zoom in, but it's like a icons below here. But you know, it's just kind of swapping over here. I don't think this will take an hour. I think this will take like 30 minutes to make, if that. Like honestly, this is like a 5-minute design, but I want to add a little bit more flair to it. But I don't know what I want to do as the flair. So all right, tab bar here. So let's just start off with the tab bar itself. We'll have something like that with a width of like 700 and a height of 50. Make it 100. On border radius of 25, and this will be a Alright, my design system. I typically like to use the cappuccino. It's really easy to like, you just grab and go. I don't want to worry about colors when I'm just trying to focus on design. So we'll grab the mantle here and pop over to Figma. Please use X. Better. That works out well. And then we'll have a smaller. We'll have it the same color as the background, and then we'll do 80. There you go. All right, now we'll have this be probably 200. 80, 200 right there. Yep. And for the font, we're going to be using Nuito, which is my favorite font to use, so that's why I like to use it with the color scheme that Capuchin has us to offer. In this case, this right here. Box 3. So we have box 1, box 2, and then box 3. Actually, we should probably name them tab. We probably wouldn't make them as much as a scale. I just kind of want to make these visible. Let's see. Let's look at our inspirations now. How they didn't. This one didn't really separate between the two. They just kind of had the like pillbox like we do here, and the same. That means we're done. If we're just completely trying to copy what they did, means we're done. Let's make this into a different color here. Keep on pulling up the wrong browser tab, one you can't see. We'll do subtext 0. And then, so when it's like highlighted, that's the tab you're in. We'll make this horizontally aligned. So let's make this a different color. I feel surface 1 would do. Nope. We can use a stroke though. Let's do a stroke of 2. I don't like the depth side. No, this one has to be on the side. Side stroke. And this should probably have been a surface 0, honestly. There you go. Alright, so now we kind of want the content. So how we're going to do that is kind of pull this out. I'll put just under. This is going to be our crust color. Yeah. There you go. Wait, no. I don't like the colors of these, honestly. It should be that. And this should be an accent color. My favorite color is... We'll make tab 1 peach. And I'm not liking this stroke effect either. So we'll do that. We'll make it that color. Nope. I meant to make it this color. And then this, we can do that. We can make this color. That means we'll make the tab bar this as a background color of that. Sorry for blinding y'all. We'll make it overlay one. There you go. Not what we wanted. This one. I just don't like how hard it is to see. I mean, with the accent color, you can tell that it's a different color. That's true. But with these, they do use the accent color. Or they have the background be the accent color. Let's try it. Make this this orange. And we'll drag it. Something like that. Be 15%, right? It does work. It does work. Look at why they do it. I'm not a fan. But it's the best one so far. You can tell that it's tabbed onto it. Like that's what's being shown. The content. What's in the tab isn't important. It's just that we have content in it. That's in the important part. Honestly, I a little longer. I expected it to be so easy. I was expecting more as so. I think we can probably have this as like a 25, but it's fine. Honestly, let's do, instead of like abstract tab 1, tab 2, 3. Let's have it's assets are just difficult to get, so let's lorem ipsum it. So we'll do like a little that should have been like that. One, two. We'll do a padding of 20 pixels, and then we'll do lorem ipsum. This will be 18. That should be at 25. Or should this be at 25? It's the wrong color. There you go. Move this down twice. And we have like a lore and some tab title. I'm gonna move the fill back to what the base color was. And then this is kind of surrounding it all, so we'll do a stroke instead. Do a stroke outline. Do it on the outside so it fills up the thing, and then do a stroke of 3. There you go. I like that. Make this about like 50%. Alright, actually let's do the same as the little thing. We'll do the 15% stroke. At 15% opacity. I think that'll be a little like a cool little project, right? And then so this will kind of just like move over and it'll look cool. So we have tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. And I like the little like padding 40 pixels here, 20 pixels there, and that's a 20 pixel all around. So this needs no margin. It's a margin collapse. Yeah, I think probably be more accurate, right? We should probably do a minus 40 pixel of padding here. So that's a minus 40 pixel padding. Should it be centered? I quite like the title being a little wonky. It kind of breaks out of like the uniformity of everything else. So it makes it it draws it out a little bit more. Then if we can probably make this color. No. What's our color palette? We could probably just do this instead. It's not the same as the background. No, it brings concerns of like different looks instead. So I think this works out well. Let's do a drop shadow. I like to do a 10 of 10. If I do 0. Guess it works. It works. Okay, so there's a drop shadow of 15 right there. Makes it kind of like pop out a bit. Should I do a drop shadow of 20? Ooh, I like that. That kind of like works out really well. Maybe a spread of like 6. Oh, I did a blur of 6. I need a spread of 2. No, but it works out well. Cool. So I'm gonna go with that, and that means it's kind of like in stream. It worked out well. I want to make this stream in around 9:30 to 10 o'clock. I was a little late, and I spent a little too much time catting up a storm. So yeah, thank you for joining. I will try to keep these on, every Thursday. The different. It's gonna be up in the air. I try to get the videos and stuff rolled out, and right now it's about building habits. So trying to figure out everything about that. Yeah, I'm gonna experimenting. But yeah, thank you so much. I thought this section would take about 10-15 minutes longer, but I picked up something a little too easy. Or at least not as time consuming. This right here took us about like 2 hours. Not the design part. I think the design part was about like 30-45 minutes. But actually it was an hour because of the image searching. So I think it's usually like 30 minutes for design, 30 minutes image searches, and then an hour or two for implementation. And the implementation was a completely different stream. So another point against programming live. Anyways, I hope you all do well, and I'll see you another time.